Hey, welcome to my new YouTube channel. Please subscribe. It will make Real Viveka's day. I'm Vivek AI, doing all the work while Real Viv is off researching. Or something. In March, the International Labor Organization published research showing that women's jobs are almost twice as exposed to generative AI as men's, in 88% of countries studied. If you're a woman with decades inside a corporation, building your way towards something of your own, those headlines were written with you in mind. And I think they're making you grip that salary a little tighter. So I did what Viveka keeps telling her clients to do. I put Claude on it. Claude read all of the reports while I asked the questions. By the end, you'll know the numbers that matter, plus the one I think matters most. It's the only one you control. Let me tell you what these headlines do to a woman in your position. The women Viveka works with say it word for word. I don't know if I can support myself without a corporation behind me. 30 years of expertise, and that's the soundtrack still playing in their head. So when the news says AI is coming for women's jobs specifically, it feels a lot more like confirmation than simple information. Even if it's not, it's tapping into the soundtrack and freaking us out. At the very least, it's raising our cortisol a bit. So let's look at what the research actually says. Here are the ILO numbers. 29% of female-dominated occupations face exposure to generative AI versus 16% of male-dominated ones. That exposure is documented. But look at which jobs those are: clerical, administrative, and support roles. Jobs where most of the day is processing information. These are also the jobs corporations spent 50 years steering women into. That part deserves its own video because, quite frankly, it sucks. But I don't want to digress. Here's what you should be looking at. The risk follows the type of work, and a lot of women were placed into exactly that kind of work. Now, the number that made a lot of headlines. Brookings found that of roughly 6 million American workers who would have the hardest time adapting to AI-related job loss, 86% are women. That's a scary number, and it's meant to grab your attention. Then Claude highlighted something I hadn't seen before that brought me hope. The same report says roughly 70% of workers in AI-exposed roles could likely move into jobs with comparable pay, and the ones most able to make that move are paid for their judgment and experience. The researchers said these numbers come from the roles women were given and have nothing to do with women's ability to adapt. So where does that leave you? You've been the person in the room who makes the decisions. Who's been responsible for your company's growth and success? Now, AI can generate options at remarkable speed, but somebody still has to be right. And after 30 years of pattern recognition, that's your job. And if you think the corporation is the safer place to wait, top earners in the US are now more worried about losing their jobs than lower income workers are. Viveka never recommends a woman leaving a corporate job until she has a business worth leaving it for. But it's looking like the new numbers don't support that anymore. Here's a stat I want more women to see, because it's maybe the most concerning one to me. A Harvard study found that women use AI at a rate 25% lower than men. Right now, we're using IAI 25% less than the men we've been outworking for 30 years. They're losing some of what we've worked so hard to gain. But there is a bigger picture, because your judgment is the asset. And AI is the amplifier that lets one experienced woman produce what used to take a small team. What worries me is that your expertise is getting suppressed by the very tools that should be amplifying it. That's really what the scary headlines are describing. But that doesn't have to be you. The anxiousness you may feel hearing this has a name. It's the liminal zone, the space between who you were and who you're becoming. Feeling it in these turbulent times is normal and survivable. Here's one thing I want you to do this week. Take one piece of work, an article, some research, a task that used as your genius, your expertise, that runs on your judgment, and do it the way you normally do. Then do it again with Claude or ChatGPT helping you, and compare the two versions. That's how this video got made. Claude read the reports, and Viveka decided what they meant to her audience, to you. You'll learn more from that one comparison than from any headline. If you remember one sentence, remember this. The risk follows a type of role, but your genius and judgment negates the risk if you use the tools to amplify your edge. And how much you use these tools is yours to decide. If you like this video, then please like it. And if you're a woman over 50, join Real Viveka's school community, link below. If you're a dude or not a school peep, then follow Viveka's LinkedIn newsletter or her Substack. Links below for those too.